The construction industry is one of the booming sectors in our country, contributing over $2,000 billion to the development of our GDP. And today we want to see how to manage large sites. This is Asimo Timothy. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you find this information more helpful. Handling big projects could be complex if you are not organized. One thing you have to consider is site planning and organization. As a person who is handling, or project manager, an engineer, an architect who is handling a project, you must be cautious on how you are going to organize your site. That is site planning and organization. You have to identify areas where you are going to have your bulk of materials, where you are going to have different areas where the staff is going to have their lunch, where people are going to execute their work, so that there are no errors on the site. If the project is going to be successful, you must make sure that everything is in the right place so that it can serve the purpose of the development of the site, because we want to see a site growing from where it is starting to where it is going. So you have to first organize your site to make sure everything is properly organized if it is going to be successful. For the project progress, you have to focus on project scheduling and timeline management. You have to focus different activities that you are going to execute on the project, then use different methodologies to make sure that they are properly executed. We sometimes use programming softwares, we use Gantt charts, whereby you allocate different times to different activities so that they all progress. There must be deadlines if you want a project to progress. Large projects usually have different goals, and if you don't have deadlines, you find the project is not progressing. For large project progresses, you must consider also quality control assurances. Make sure that whatever you do in project management, it is controlling every material. Ensure that each and everything you do at each level is tested, assured, and make sure it has no errors. Check those defects that could come with the project. Ensure that there is no errors that are made in setting out. There are no errors that are made in materials. There are no errors that are made in casting, so that everything that is done is perfect. Remember, repeating something in a big project will be costly and will also increase chances and time that could have been utilized for other activities. Communication and stakeholder management could be a game changer in managing big projects. You need to have different channels of communication to ensure that different groups are communicating together for the success. You must ensure that the clients talk properly with the contractors, who should also communicate with the suppliers of materials, so that all channels are clear. Each person must be in his own lane, knowing his responsibilities to ensure the project is progress. Large projects could be problematic if there are poor communication channels and there is massive communication from any of the people who are running the project. That is one thing that you can concentrate on if the project is going to be successful. Budgeting and cost control. If the project is going to be successful, you must be proper on budgeting for what you are going to execute, also knowing what you have in your finances. Most people do not consider that, and it brings a lot of problems. You must have a control on the sources of income that you are going to implement in a big project. You must be able to know how much you are going to raise per quarters or per different phases. Then you must control each and everything that might arise, which could be inflation, increasing in materials prices, which could be possible changes in transportation costs, so that you are not curtailed by the growth or the increase in the size of the project. Large projects need people who are focused, who need to have prepared so well, who are resilient in hard times, so that you keep running the project without fail. So that is one way you can manage and control the largest projects that you would want to execute. If you are going to have a successful project, you must consider site supervision and monitoring. As a client, as a contractor, as an architect, as a person who is a project manager, you must track the progress of a site. A site must grow from level 1 to an infinite level that you want on it. And if you don't consider different growth patterns that are going on site, you might find that you have lost track. You must control everything from foundation, from finishes, from angles that you want to tackle, from areas you want to make sure they are given priority, from scheduling and rescheduling those that come first so that you don't have any losses that could arise or any activities that could be avoided as you are executing your project. So monitoring it and tracking every progress is very key in growth of a big project, and it can bring to a growth or a better project or an executed project with high value, with proper planning, with a automatic growth that can always make sure that it is successful.